Have you ever been in a situation, right, where you've been chilling all day, cool and collected, and suddenly you get a text message and your vibes is switched? You know, your blood is boiling, your whole mood, demeanor changes because of what somebody said to you. Or, you know, you're in a situation where you're dealing with a boss, like you're at a job and you're trying to do the best that you can at that job, and you're dealing with the boss and they're just like standing over you, wanting to micromanage every little thing that you're doing, and you're trying your best so you don't even understand why, and it's just irritating to you. Or you, like, I don't know, like you're just even like having a random conversation with someone, and the stupid, ridiculous things that are coming out of their mouth, whether they're purposely trying to insult you or they're just spewing things out of their mouth, and you're just like, shut up. Like, have you ever been in these situations? Because I've been in these situations. As difficult as it's been for me to maneuver through these situations, it has taught me a lot, right? And those are the things that I would love to share with you guys today. All right, so what you guys can expect from this video is basically what is anger, how we normally respond to anger, and then we're gonna just jump into some things that we can do to kind of rein in on that rage, right? Just so that we don't explode on anyone. All right, but first I would like to introduce myself. My name is Khaleela and this is KHALEELA'S TV. Welcome, thanks for joining me. But let's jump into it. All right, so what is anger? All right, so anger is just basically a feeling of annoyance, right? Feeling like you're being provoked, feeling like you're in a situation that's evoking an energy of rage within, okay? So that's basically what anger is. Now, how we choose to transmute that anger is what can either make or break a situation, right? So when we get upset, you know, your boyfriend does something stupid, or, you know, you are driving on the road and somebody cuts you off and you just want to flip them the bird. Like, these things, they come up for us, and that emotion, it is real, it is valid, it is there, you know? It's our body signaling to us that, yo, alarm, like, what is going on? Now, for me, it's just about like, how can I not be as reactive to it as I normally am? Because me, it's like, in the past, it's like you do something to me and the scale just go and it's straight to it, like you're getting it, right? So for me, it's just like, how can I not be as reactive? But before we jump into that, let's talk about the different ways in which we can express it, right? So anger can be expressed in 3 different ways, the 3 ones that I am aware of, by the way. So we can either express anger through being aggressive, through being passive, or through being assertive, okay? So when you're passive with anger, it's like you're angry, but you don't want to show that you're angry. Whether it's because you feel like your anger is invalid, or you're in a position where there's a hierarchy where you perhaps you don't feel comfortable expressing your anger, or you just want to keep the peace, right? You know what? If I do this, if I say this thing, it might stir the pot, you know, and you don't speak up, right? You don't speak up on the fact that you're angered. But I feel like what happens in these situations when we don't speak up, when we're angry about something and we're passive, it transmutes into little microaggressions, right? Where we're now rolling our eyes at someone. We're saying snarky little comments to someone else, and the person on the receiving end of that, they may not even know what they did to trigger that response from you, right? Or from me, because I've been passive aggressive a lot, okay? So the thing with passive aggression is, even though you're able to maintain the peace in a relationship, maintain the peace in a partnership, every time I've ever been passive aggressive, I've allowed situations to build up. I don't say anything, build up. I don't say anything, build up. I don't say anything. And then I blow up for the smallest, most ridiculous thing in the world. You know, it's like the straw that breaks the camel's back. Like, you did this 364 times, and I did not say anything all those times when you was doing these things to me, and then it's like the slightest little thing, and now I'm raging, right? So when you're passive aggressive, even though you're trying to keep the peace, you're only maintaining the peace but for so long. Eventually, if you're anything like me, the cap is going to get blown, and it's going to lead to a much more damaging situation, in opposed to you speaking up more early on and kind of getting the details nailed out so that it does not build up to that. So yes, you may have good intentions and you're like, I don't want to stir the pot, but if you don't, the cap may blow off anyway. So speaking up early in a situation where you do feel triggered is a good idea, okay? Now, the other way in which sometimes we do respond to anger, it is aggressively, right? I myself, I've been aggressive. I've been aggressive a couple of times, and it's just like, with aggression, it's like you're able to get it out there to the person that, yo, like, you're pissing me off, or yo, I'm not gonna take this from you, this thing that you're doing to me. But in a way, when I've gotten angry, I don't want to speak for you, but each and every time that I've gotten angry, it's only led to a difficult situation, right? Because I'm like attacking someone, and when you go with open aggression and you just attack someone like that, the person, they get a little bit defensive, right? Like, I don't know, like, and the thing is, in each of these situations that I'm speaking of, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm some angel with the halo on. Like, I've been in situations where I've been passive aggressive and I've had passive aggression done to me, and I've also had been in situations where I've been openly aggressive, and I've had it where someone else was openly aggressive to me. And I'm gonna be completely honest, in those situations where someone is like blowing up at me and I personally feel like they don't have any reason to be blowing up on me, I don't show remorse for the, okay, I don't want to say I don't, because it's a learning curve. Now that I'm kind of aware as to what's happening with that person, it makes me more susceptible to showing them remorse. But in the past, you yell at me? Who are you talking to? Not me. And it's just like, I don't even care why you're angry. Goodbye. Like, you know? So with open aggression, it alienates the other person. And when you blow up at people, they're not gonna be receptive to working with you and wanting to even fix whatever the problem is. Right? Now, sometimes that aggression, it is well deserved. It is something that needs to be said, needs to be done, but there is also a way to do it. So assertiveness, you just assert yourself. This is what it is. I don't like this. Let's fix it. How can we fix it? And then you're able to just move on to the next things that you have to deal with in your life. Now I'm going to give you guys an example of each real quick, right? So let's say I take my car to the car wash, right? And I feel like there wasn't a good job wasn't done with washing my car. A passive person will hop into the car and be upset like upset, raging angry that this person didn't clean their car properly, and they're gonna be like, I'm never going back to that place again. Or they'll continually go back to the place but never speak up about the quality of the wash. And then one day they're gonna be like, yo, like, why you always washing I pay you so much, why you always washing my car like this, and blah blah blah. And then it leads to open aggression, right? So when you're passive aggressive, it doesn't help you, it doesn't help the situation, because the person who's washing your car, they're not gonna know, okay, well, they didn't like the job if you don't convey that. Now again, with the washing the car scenario, if you express open aggression and you're aggressive and stuff like that, the person is going to be like, hold on, who are you talking to? Like, get off of my business property. Here's your money back. Nobody even want to wash your funky car to begin with. And you know what? It just adds fuel to the fire, right? So if you were to perhaps be more assertive in the car wash situation, you're just gonna be like, hey bud, you gave me a wash. I don't think certain parts of the car was washed properly. The glass wasn't clean, the cup holder, no one wiped it out, you know what I mean? And you let them know and be like, you know, I would really appreciate it if someone was able to help me with this, because I'm just not satisfied with the service that I previously got. So is this something that you can help me out with? And the person would be like, oh wow, like, you know, I didn't know you were dissatisfied with the service. Let me, you know, take care of it. Or, you know, they may not be as nice as you are, but then you'll know that, okay, well, I told this person that I wasn't happy with the service. I tried to work towards a peaceful resolution with this person and we weren't able to do that. So you know what, now I can take my car somewhere else because I know this person just isn't willing to give me what I'm asking for, right? So when you're assertive, you're able to protect your character, right? Because it's like, I am who I am regardless of what you do, right? So it's just like, I'm not gonna blow up at you and I'm not gonna negate how I feel about a situation to please you. This is how I'm feeling and this is what I need done. Can we do it or not? You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna be disrespectful or anything like that. So I feel like assertive aggression is definitely the way to go. Just assert yourself, let people know that you're not satisfied with something, and you'll be able to kind of go on your merry way. All right, so let's just jump into now some things that you can do when you do get angry. These are things that I be doing sometimes when I get angry, and it helps. I would love if you guys can share with me down below, what are some things that you do when you get into those moments where you just want to like at someone. All right, so for me, I try my best to not respond when I'm angry. I try. The other day I did, but for the most part, I really just to be catching myself. Like, all right, we're not gonna say anything right now because you're all the way up here. So you kind of want to just try your best to not say anything because you don't want to ruin business relationships like I did. Wait till you're in a calmer state of mind. Wait till you've really just like, all right, I've thought about the situation, I've reflected on it, and this is the best way to convey my message. All right, so try not to react when you're upset. Try not to add fuel to the fire.
Thanks, Cheryl.
If you see the situation escalating out of control, just walk away from it and revisit it, okay? Now, another thing that I do is I go for jogs and I go for walks. If a situation is really like difficult with me and my partner, I just like, you know what, I'm going for a walk, and I'll go walk for like an hour. Like, I mean, you don't have to go that long, but it really does like calm my mind. It gives me more perspective. I'm able to approach the situation differently. Resolutions that I didn't know before start to come up for me. Viewpoints that I wouldn't have seen the situation, different perspectives that I wouldn't have been able to see regarding a situation through that walk. It just opens those doors for me. So go for a walk, go for a jog. I also journal. I journal. Try talking to a therapist, a therapist, a therapist, a therapist. Try talking to a therapist. They are the best. They'll help you to, one, come up with a resolution that is workable for you and perhaps the other party. You'll have someone to listen to you and make you feel like, yo, I'm not crazy regarding this situation. I don't feel like I feel like it's when you're angry about something, it's not a good time to speak to friends and family. I like, if you really trust your close friends and close family, then yeah. But if I just feel like when you're in those high rate emotions, you want to speak to a therapist. One, because you don't want to say things out of your mouth that you can't take back, right? You don't want to give someone else information into you that like you didn't even really mean, right? And if it's not someone that's really trustworthy, you're gonna have your business out here and it's just gonna add again fuel to the fire. Now, in addition to that, in the times that we're in, we have to also be mindful that yes, we're dealing with stuff that's making us angry, but our mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, best friends, they're also going through personal things in their life. So to call them up and basically negate their life and neglect everything that they have going on in their life to emotionally dump and burden them with what we're going through, it's also not fair to them. So I feel like, you know, speaking to a therapist, getting the situation out there, you know, calming your nerves, and whenever you are able to speak to your friends and family, you're able to kind of be more in tune with what you're saying. Because when you're angry, literally anything, well, I don't know about y'all, but when I'm angry, don't speak to me because play with your mama. That's what you're gonna get out of me. So it's just like, it's not good to speak when you're angry. Talk to a therapist. And I think if you don't take anything away from this video, when you are angry, try talking to a therapist. Try talking to a therapist. Don't try to really put your stuff out there. All right. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video on anger and how to deal with it. I am gonna put a video somewhere here on the screen, perhaps here, I don't know, where you can check out my video on boundaries, and that may help you in the future. I'll see you next time.